got ahead of it.
I was like, couch.
Is it the couch now? No, Sean. It's the same day. Hi guys, welcome to my Cute Corner. If you're joining us for the first time, my name is Nadej and I'm your host for CheerTD. Our goal here is to help you find your confidence. Are you confidently utilizing training through execution? Or in other words, are you cute? If you're unsure, no worries. That's what we're here for, and that's what these segments are here to help you do. I would like to welcome back to the couch our CheerTD's very own Sean.
Hello.
How's it going today?
It's going good. It's going.
Okay. Well, I'm freaking-tastic today, so I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just am. So last week we talked about words of success and how to apply them. So our episode today is all about determining if you're stronger than yesterday. Meaning, can you start to see improvement, and how much improvement are you seeing, or how much improvement should you see? Okay, so a couple of points that we're going to touch on in today's episode are: how have you been doing your stretches? Are you constantly doing your body positions on the ground? Working extra times outside of practice to improve upon your practice as a flyer? The second point we'll touch on is: are you putting in the reps to be the most successful version of yourself,
yes.
Right? So based on how frequently we're doing a skill, it's going to determine how well we hit that skill and with what level of consistency. So, Sean, what advice would you like to give to our flyers to help boost their confidence, knowing that we've already helped them identify their problems in flying? We've already kind of discussed the role of believing so that you can, like, words of affirmation, right? Like, do or think and therefore it is. And then also the roles that other people on the team play in helping boost the flyers' confidence. Now we want to say, we've given you all these 3 tools in your toolbox. Can you see the improvement? So how much improvement should they see at this point? Let's touch on that. And then if they're not seeing enough improvement, what can we provide them with? What advice can we give them to make them?
Yeah. Just like you said, we provided all the tools for the toolbox.
Right.
So at this point, the success rate of the stunt should be, I wouldn't say it's skyrocketing, but it should definitely be a couple of notches before what it was, because you guys have been practicing and the flyer has been doing her job and the bases have been communicating with the flyer a little bit better, and everyone's just putting in a little bit more, like 5 more, 20 more %, then the success rate of that stunt should completely have went up a few notches. The technique in the stunt should have gone up as well, just because that is the #1 thing in any type of stunt and cheerleading. And I think the third thing would definitely be the stunt room morale, because if you're hitting, you start feeling good and you're like, all right, we got this.
Yeah, it just takes that one time.
Yeah, it takes that one time, and then once you get that one time, the repetition of it and the consistency of the stunt should definitely be there now. So now that you guys have your mold and you guys are in your groove, keep that going so that you guys can just go up from there.
And I think one thing that I'm sure we're going to get a lot of comments on are going to be about, well, I've been watching, I've been taking notes, I've applied what we've been saying, but it's still not working. So then what do we say to those flyers and those stunt groups?
It gets better, you know? I feel like that saying is so true, and it takes time. It's not going to happen it's not going to happen in a day. You know, we do these every week, and you know, trying to make a stunt perfect and solid takes more than just a couple of weeks. You know, it takes months, and we are just slowly approaching the competition season. So unfortunately, it has to be pushed a little bit faster. Yeah. But don't get stressed out about it, and don't get down on yourself, because if you are doing everything that you can and your stunt group is doing everything that you can, then it's gonna work itself out. You just can't beat yourself up just because it's not quite where you want it to be. You know, just like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. So
yeah, because I think what was interesting was, as it pertains to one of our flyers, as it looks like, one of the things that we try to help flyers identify is, where did your problem start? And how bad was the problem? Like, how bad was the habit? Let's not say problem. Habit is a better word. If you had a really, really, really bad habit, and now the habit went from worse to better, but it's still not at the point where you're feeling normal. It's a process, right? So you're not necessarily going to notice that you went from having a Dorito style scorpion to a needle in one night and say, and if you're like, I've been working on it for 2 weeks, why hasn't my Dorito turned into a needle? That's not realistic. Yeah. So you have to be very, very realistic with your expectations, and from where you're starting to where you're trying to go, and then trying to really enjoy your accomplishments along the way. That's a really big part of it.
Celebrating the accomplishments.
You really have to, because if you don't celebrate, then you're so focused on the goal that it kind of takes away the experience of learning from your mistakes.
Because I feel like when you're doing a stunt and it's just not hitting you, you tried 75 times, and out of that 75, you did 7.
Yeah.
But now that 7 doubled into 14, you know, it's not quite 50% yet, but you're making small strides in the right direction.
Well, yeah, so I like to tell the flyers that they should be thinking about doing things in ratios. So when we said, when you're doing a skill, then if you fall 3 times out of work, so you do it 3 times and you fall 3 times, then you do it again and you fall 2 times. That's an improvement, and so you shouldn't try to go from 3 to 0. It's not as realistic. So now we would actually love to hear back from you guys, our viewers, as to what plan you've put into place and how much success you've been having. Kind of let us know what those, what do we call them? Like the little wins along the way. Let's talk about the wins, and let's also talk about the failures so that we can kind of help you guys work through those, okay? So then I'd like to thank Sean for joining us today in this episode, as always, for giving us great advice. And I'd like to thank you guys, our viewers, for tuning in. And remember, catch us next week, same day, same time, and same couch. And in the meantime, stay cute. See you guys next week. Bye.